What's up guys, I'm Nick Nightwing here at Flashback Comics and Games in Woodbridge, Virginia, and I'm here to tell you about my favorite character, Nightwing. Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, was first shown as Robin, the Boy Wonder, and he kept that position for a long time, until about 1980, 83 possibly to be exact. That's when something called the Teen Titans The Judas Contract happened. And when that happened, he decided he no longer wanted to be Robin, he wanted to be someone else. He wasn't sure who he wanted to be, but he didn't want to be in the shadow of the bat anymore. So, after giving up being Robin for a couple of issues earlier in Teen Titans 39, he decides that since all of his teammates were captured, he needs to go out and get himself a costume and save all of his friends from Deathstroke the Terminator. So, he, after being inspired by Superman, of all people, takes on the name Nightwing. Nightwing is from the Kryptonian legend of Nightwing and Flamebird, who actually had a sidekick. As Nightwing, he had this disco collar that was just not good, but he was a very popular character. And then going through a couple of different costume iterations, he finally gets the blue one in the 1990s. So, after getting the blue suit in the 90s, he actually gets his own series after a 4-issue miniseries. And it actually had a very long, prominent run until he himself became Batman. And he was really good as Batman too. He did a phenomenal job being Batman until 2011 when the New 52 hits and he actually goes back to being Nightwing. But when the New 52 hits, he actually changes things around and he's actually in a red costume. Say what you will about the red costume, I enjoyed it, some people didn't, some people liked it, it's up in the air. But after he actually got the red costume, 30 issues of that series, he actually fakes his death after the whole Forever Evil story arc, and he becomes a secret agent, Super Spy Grayson, and he actually goes on that for about 20 issues. And that was an okay story arc. I enjoyed it. It was still very much Dick Grayson, but it wasn't Nightwing. Now, in DC Rebirth, he is back to being Nightwing with the black and blue suit. Since he's back in the black and blue suit, he has had a bit of resurgence in the DC universe. He's back as Nightwing, he's fixing the relationship he had with Barbara Gordon Batgirl, he's also leading the current iteration of Titans, who they themselves went through their own Lazarus contract, which was very similar to the Judas contract that I mentioned earlier. Reading recommendations for Nightwing would be Nightwing Volume 1, the 1995 version, A Night in Bloodhaven, the 2011 Nightwing, where he actually has the red suit, traps and trapezes. There's Grayson Volume 1, and there's also Nightwing Rebirth Volume 1. Many people wonder why Nightwing is one of the most popular heroes of the DC Universe. Even the editor-in-chief, Dan DiDio, has said multiple times that he's wanted to kill off Nightwing, but fans won't let him do it. There would be an outrage. And rightfully so. He is a very popular character, very well-known character as well. What makes his popularity so big is that not only was he trained by Batman, but he also takes the lessons he's learned from Superman and the Flash and Wonder Woman. And he uses all of those in his daily life, and he betters himself as a person that way. He, having been trained by Batman, knows what he's doing, basically. And he's also taking training from the other Teen Titans he was with. He even led the Justice League at one point, which was a great story, the Obsidian Age. And he is one of the better fighters in the DC Universe, able to match Batman almost on par. The 2011 Nightwing story arc, after he fakes his death, him and Batman have a giant slugfest and brawl it out, and he socks Batman one good time across the jaw, and Batman's done. Nightwing can hold his own against some of the bigger hitters of the DC Universe. You should definitely check him out.